Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Now today I'm going to be reviewing this album by the band 10cc. You're going to be looking at the album How Dare You. So this was the band's fourth studio album, released in January 1976. It was the last album to feature the original classic lineup of Eric Stewart, Graham Gouldman, Lol Creme and Kevin Godley. Right, so before this album, 10cc were already a pretty big band. They already had two UK #1 singles, Rubber Bullets and I'm Not In Love, which the latter one was a huge international hit for them. But again, the albums had been commercially successful and got a lot of critical acclaim as well. However, by this point there was kind of a sharp division occurring in the band between the two sort of main songwriting teams of Eric Stewart and Graham Gouldman, wanting to go in a more sort of conventional rock pop sort of direction, and then with Godley and Creme wanting to do more experimental and avant-garde stuff. That's what made the early 10cc albums great, the blend of those two sort of styles, whereas for many fans on this album it kind of the styles clash rather than complement each other. The album was relatively commercially successful, reached number 5 on the UK charts. I've not got any other international statistics for it, but and it did have two British top 5 singles on it. So I'm just going to show the cover here. This is the vinyl copy of it, a original British copy, and I really love the cover. I think it's a great cover, sort of sums up a little bit of some of the music on here, the last track, Don't Hang Up, sort of is sort of represented on the cover, and the fantastic gatefold as well, just sort of loads of people at a party, and in this photo here, different band members are spurs between the different people here. So there's Graham Gouldman and Lol Creme's there, and Eric Stewart, and I'm not too sure where Kevin Godley is, but he's certainly hiding somewhere in here. So yeah, I love the artwork to this. I think it's a great cover package. And then the inner sleeve here, really nice image here, and on the other side as well, just continue the the telephone theme lyrics, and then a nice custom label as well. So yeah, this is a original UK made in England pressing of this album. So yeah, I just forgot to add as well, this, like many of 10cc's album covers, was designed by the Hypnostics design crew. They done Pink Floyd's classic albums throughout the 70s, and also a couple of ones Paul McCartney. Yeah, great covers, always the Hypnostics covers are always fantastic. I'm now just going to go over all of the individual tracks on the album. I will give each song a score out of 10, and then those will be used to give us an overall score for the whole album. Right, so we open up with the title song, How Dare You, and I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. This is an instrumental song, but I really like it. It's a Godley and Creme song, really great sort of creative start to the album. Lots of tape loops and sort of weird sound effects going on. But you can sense that a lot of time went into making this opening track. It's really atmospheric, great. I can only really give it an 8 out of 10 because there's not much in the way of lyrics, as is with most instrumental songs. Yeah, I can't really judge it on that, but the actual track itself is fantastic and a really great start to the album. Next one up is a song called Lazy Ways, and I believe this one is actually credited to Lol Creme and Eric Stewart, who wouldn't normally write together, but I think that they do a great job writing this one here. I can give this a 9 out of 10. Slightly more conventional sort of 70s sort of soft rock sound, but it moves along nicely with this song, and I really like some the vocals on this song, and overall it is just a fantastic track. So yeah, 9 out of 10. Really one of my favourites from the album. The third track in is called I Wanna Rule the World, and I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. This is an intriguing mix of like the two sort of different styles, like of like the band. Sort of starts off like with like these sort of like these weird vocals on it, sort of like strange verses, quite like low, like I wanna rule, quite fast and low, strange sounds. But then like the song, it goes through so many different stages, and like then we have like sort of like the beach and the Bee Gees like esque like chorus, like the what you gonna do, how are you gonna do it, like that wee bit. I think like the actual like arrangement of the song is like really great, but like it's just like little bits of it, like I think like a little bit weird and like out there, and like it's like maybe not like my personal cup of tea. The actual themes of like the song here, sort of like about like wanting to like rule like the world and like sort of taking over like the world, sort of like reminds me a bit of like Pink Floyd's like The Wall, like the same sort of themes that like they would go on to like explore that album, but this of course being about 3 years before. So yeah, like the song, but like I don't love it. And then we have probably my personal favourite track from the album is Amanda Fly Me, and I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. This is a truly magical song. Again, like a bit like the last one, it's made up of like different fragments like of songs, and like sort of like in like a sort of similar things like sort of like Paul McCartney's like Uncle Albert and Band on the Run, like those sort of songs like Bohemian Rhapsody of course, so like made up of like little different bits, and like it all just comes together like on this song. We have like the fantastic verses, the great like guitar bit in like the middle. It's just about like a minute, like you have like these sort of like acoustics, and then slightly heavier solo. It's just a fantastic track, and like the origins like of the song sort of like go back to like when like Eric Stewart, like he saw like a poster like advertised, I think it was like British Airways or like American Airlines or something, where like it was like sort of like an air hostess sort of saying like I'm Mandy Fly Me, sort of like promoting like the airline, and like a sort of like a tramp or like sort of like looking up at her thinking that he'll never get like on this plane, and like that's sort of like what like songs about like it's sort of like fantasy lyrics. But like I love the track, and like, I think it's a great song. Truly, probably one of the best songs like from like the whole 1970s, I'd say. Like, and then side one closes slightly like underwhelmingly with a song called Iceberg, written by Graham Gouldman and Kevin Godley together. 6 out of 10 for me. Sort of like typical sort of 10cc. Kind of like strange lyrics, sort of like weird like arrangement, but like it and like for me it kind of doesn't work. It's not as good as like similar stuff of like the debut album or like sheet music. It kind of seems it's just like 10cc, like by the numbers really, and like overall like as a song it's not really memorable, and like it's almost like a novelty song, like in like some like the lyrics and like we like instrumental bits in it. Like it's not like a serious song, and like again it probably wasn't supposed to be serious, but it kind of like it just doesn't work for me, and like that's why I'm giving it 6 out of 10. But then side 2 opens up with another cracking song, Art for Art's Sake. Another 10 out of 10, a great rocker. Again, like it's like fragmented, and now we've got like different sections, different bits that come in like here and there, and like it doesn't follow like a straight sort of verse chorus structure, which is what I really love about like a lot of 10cc songs. It's like such a fun and like entertaining song as well, just gets like your foot tapping. This was also a single from the album. I believe it was the first single, reached number 5 in like the UK charts. So yeah, fantastic song, really great rocking track. Second track up on side 2 is called Rock and Roll Lullaby. Giving this a 8 out of 10. Starts off so like okay, it's like rocking along nicely, but then it does build up. We have some like fantastic sort of vocals like on like this song, fantastic harmonies, and then like the guitar playing gets like a little bit more heavy throughout the song, and like it does build up, and like it's a really great song actually. Again, like the lyrics like are unconventional, but like I really like them. It's sort of like he's sort of like singing like a lullaby song, but it's done in like a sort of like a different sort of like roundabout sort of 10cc way, but like they normally do things. And this one here is I'm just referring to like the wee like notes in it. This is a Eric Stewart and Graham Gouldman song. So just give some head, just a little bit of head. Right now, the second to last song is called Headroom, giving this a 6 out of 10. Interesting track here, Godly and Creme song this, smooth sort of jazzy verse, sort of Steely Dan-esque, but like then like the chorus is like completely different, goes in like a completely different, unexpected direction, very catchy chorus, like don't give me some headroom, like that wee bit, like it's really sticks in like your head, like even though you might not actually care for like the song that much, and like I would say that it maybe drags on like a little bit. Certainly not like one of like my favourites like songs like from this album, possibly tied with like Iceberg, like the weakest song, but like I still sort of like it and like I have a soft spot for it, so yeah, that's the song Headroom.
How have you been? I've called.
And now the closer is the track Don't Hang Up, which sort of like brings like together like the whole sort of cover concept and like everything. I really love this song. Much sort of slower track, slightly more like experimental, like as well, kind of similar to like How Dare You, but like I enjoy it, sort of like the sentiment of it is like very sort of similar to like ELO's Telephone Line. It sort of like starts off, I think like the verse lines to like these two like are very similar songs, but like Telephone Line was like released about a year later than this, sort of like early '77, like as a single. But like, and like it closes like the album great as well. We just sort of have like this phone tone going, so like sort of like the singing like the song, but then like it sort of like hangs up, like sort of saying like like the singing don't hang up, but then like sort of hangs up. It's quite like amusing, sort of like again the sort of 10cc witty like end to it. But yeah, I just love this song. Again, goes through like, lots of like, different stages. It is about 6 minutes, so it's like maybe the song does like drag a tiny bit. But I do think that like there is like enough in like this song, like despite it being 6 minutes, to keep like you amused like throughout it. Because I think that it is like a great track. So yeah, that is Don't Hang Up, the closer to the album. So overall, it will be a score of 80% for this album. I think this is a fantastic album. There's lots of like variety like across this album, like not only like like between like different songs, but like within like tracks themselves. Like they go to like different places, and I think it's fantastic. And like again, just like referring to like the track listing here, we have like slightly more like unconventional stuff like How Dare You, and Wanna Rule the World, Headroom, and like Don't Hang Up, but then like more sort of like commercial and like sort of like more like I don't say predictable, but slightly more like poppy commercial song stuff like Lazy Ways and Mandy Fly Me, Art for Art's Sake, and Rock and Roll Lullaby. But like just like going through like those tracks, we do get like the clear division with like Kevin and Lowell doing the more experimental stuff, and like Eric Stewart and like Graham Gouman doing the more sort of like commercial, conventional stuff, and like that was effectively like what like broke like the band up like shortly after this album. Kevin and Lowell wanted to go in like a more experimental direction, and like they left the band like after this album and made a triple album called Consequences, what I have like actually got up there, like my dad like owned it. I'm not a big fan of it, but like they did go in like that direction, and like then they'd find like later fame as like music video directors and that, like Duran Duran and like the Police, and done like sort of like they're quite big like 80s video pioneers. Stewart and Gouman did continue with the 10cc name though, like they made Deceptive Bends, which I could possibly argue is like better than this album, and like it's possibly their strongest album. I just think that Deceptive Bends was like really fantastic. And then like after that, they kind of died like a slow death, sort of like dwindling like quality and like commercial success until like they broke up in like the early 80s. Right, yeah, but overall I think this is a great album. Like it would have been like interesting to see like if like maybe like the band had like given it like a break for like a couple of years to then have maybe like sort of like come like back together in like the early 80s. They could have like made like more fantastic albums like this, but like unfortunately they didn't, and like they really only made 4 albums like as like the classic like 4-member lineup, which is a shame. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and like definitely try and check out 10cc. Like if like you don't know like the songs like and Mandy Fly Me and like Art for Art's Sake, definitely just get like their greatest hits, because like they are a fantastic band. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.